Hello, Brick Sculptors, and welcome to Brick Sculpt. This is Chris, and it is time for the final giant Lego pencil build. That's right, by the end of this video, we will have a completed giant Lego pencil. I am super excited. This project has been going on for a long time, mostly because of me dragging my feet. Let's get started. As you can see right now, we are far from a completed pencil, but we're going to get this buttoned up here in this video. Now, this may look incomplete. This is the ugly side of the inside of the pencil. Very repetitive, lots of parts that all snap together. But if we flip these over, we can make a giant flat Lego pencil. And we, of course, can see what's missing. Now, in the previous video to this one, I had asked for some Brick Sculpt help from you guys, and I got an outpouring of people willing to offer designs and help with this build to get us over the finish line here, and that's what we did. I've got some great stuff to add here, and we're going to show off some techniques for building the ferrule. Just going to go right down here, capping the end, and I also made a new plug for the front of the pencil to attach the tip. Let's go ahead and take a look. So for the ferrule, this is what the base looks like, and the colors really only matter on the edges because that's all you're going to see. The rest of this will be covered. This will fit right into here, making that transition from the wooden pencil to the eraser. Now let me show you what we're going to put on top of this. Got some parts here. Let's go ahead and start with the pale yellow, light yellow, whatever you want to call it. Now this portion here, I wanted to be a different color than the standard yellow, and I think this worked out just perfect. I still have yet to get a traditional yellow Ticonderoga pencil, but I have a green one here, and you can see the yellow is quite pale on the ferrule. And so that is what we're doing. We have some of these 2x2 slopes on the edges. They're going to help make up that rounded surface. And then in the middles, we're just going to use tiles. Now, I didn't realize this until I built this, but this pale yellow is actually kind of transparent on these slopes. So be cautious of what you put underneath it. It's not enough for me to worry about it, but it could be a problem depending on what you're trying to get your build to look like. Next, we had to do the green portions. Now, for the outsides, we're going to do much the same as we did with the light yellow there, but with dark green. Again, I wanted this to vary from the color of the lettering, and I think this did a pretty good job. This design was mostly taken from somebody on the Discord server. I apologize, I don't have that name handy, but I did use several different designs of several different people, so thank you to everyone who contributed. I love seeing you guys come together and make some cool stuff and help complete this design. Actually, I'm not going to put them in the middle here. That was a mistake. These go on the ends. There we go. And then tiles in the middle again. And then for these raised sections, those are going to be the transitions between the green and the yellow. We're going to use thin ones. 1x2 slopes and 1x2 tiles. And that will give that transition. There we go. Now for the knurled section. What I decided on here, again, given to me by a fan, was these green 1x1 rounded bricks, would you call them, I guess? And we're just going to line them up on here. And this is 6x6, so 36 of them on each panel. I needed a lot of these. They're not the easiest piece to find. They're out there, but getting a large quantity, 36 of them times 6 sides, you do the math, it's a lot. But I got them all, and they are ready to be on this pencil. And we just line them up like this. And there we go. Now, we need 6 of these, so do you want to sit there and watch me build them all? Of course you don't. So there are 6 of them, and let's go ahead and get these put on our sides here. Now these will plug right in. I did take this whole pencil apart just to put these on because I wanted to be able to push them down hard. There's a lot of connection points going on here between the side and the ferrule. So being able to give it a good push and get it stuck on there properly is going to make a big difference. Let's go ahead and install all of these. And that will pretty much complete our sides. You'll notice at the end I left a gap here. That's going to be for the end cap. I do have to be careful to keep these in order because there are some specific connections based around the panel with lettering. The rest of them are pretty much the same, but the ones that border on that have some specific things that need to be in specific places for that. All right, and so now our ferrule is on there. So next we need to talk about how we're going to cap the ends here. For the pointy side, I've already created this tip, and I'm sticking with this design, and I'm real happy with it. It's basically 8-sided here, but I did add some hinges down here to make it 16-sided at the base, and I think it looks pretty good. Somewhat fragile in certain spots, but it holds up pretty well, especially once it's all together. Everything kind of presses on each other. So there's the tip, but we need a way of attaching the tip to the base, and that's why I developed this. Now this took some work. I did get some ideas from somebody in the Discord server using these mixel joints, but I did also make it my own a little bit. And I made it one solid chunk so that everything here is going to be real solid and fit right into that core. And then this axle will slide right in and it will fit beautifully into the tip of the pencil and be very strong. Let me try to show you what's going on here. I don't want to take the whole thing apart, but basically the design we have, these are snot bricks that hold onto a plate, and then these different mixel joints, ball joints, whatever you want to call them, going around in our hexagon, and then we just build out from there. On the sides, we use these rounded plates, and they just fit just beautifully. It may be mildly illegal, I don't know, but it does fit really nicely, and it's not stressing the parts really to get that spacing just perfect. And on the outside, I did 2 layers to make it extra strong, so I actually have 2 joints. Maybe I can pop one of these off. It's not the easiest thing to disassemble. But there you can see the joints, and I made them going opposite ways just for a little added strength around in that hexagon. Let's get this put back in. Get our bar and clips on the outside. There we go. And this is actually going to go upside down so that the anti-stud side is facing out, which will attach just like that, nice and flush. Now for the other end. So I got those pieces done. The other end uses much the same. It has that same center in it with those mixel joints around it, but then on top of them we have a very specific set of pieces. And again, this was fan created also. We have some brackets down here. Bracket plate, slope. These ideally will be pink, but they're hard to find in pink. I'll get them eventually, but I'm not too worried about you barely are going to see them. Like, you'll see the tip, which is fine. It doesn't need to look perfect. You're not going to see that much. But up here, to get these pieces connected, we actually use one of these 1x1 round plates with a bar on it. We use these 1x2 or 1x1 by 2/3 bricks and then stick it on there, and that's how we obtain this shape going all the way around. And this should line up beautifully with the outside of our pencil. We're going to use these, which I have 6 of them, to connect this to the body of the pencil, just like that, all the way around. And now for this here, we're going to cover it with our circular pink disc here. There we go. And you can see those little gray bits there, but it kind of looks like, that pencil in the used eraser. You get that graphite in there. But I might change it to pink eventually, but I'm not too worried about those. They don't look bad. So that's going to be our end cap there. We can put these on all the way around. and stick it on the end. I'm actually going to put this on last. This I'm going to have to put in while clipping it together. So that is going to be the next step, and then we can finish this thing off. Let's go ahead and start. All right, here we go. So first thing, we have to line up all of our sides. And we just have to be cautious because there's a few spots that are kind of specific to that lettered side. So we're going to start with the lettered side, and then we're going to build around that. The rest of these sides really don't make too much difference. Just those ones that surround the one with the letters. So let's start there and build our way out. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce this plug for the tip. And it's going to sit in one, which will allow the tip to recess in a little bit. As I connect these, it's going to get kind of tight. I've already put the clips in for the plug, so that'll just clip right, or just attach right to the plates. And this will be the first clip right here that I have to worry about. So that is our first connection there. And then we will start clipping these together. It's going to get a little more difficult the further in we get, because you're going to be dealing with a tighter and tighter space. This is not the first time I've done this. It is the second time I've done it with the tip, and it is not super easy, but once it's together, it is rock solid. So there we have two sides on, and you can see that shape coming together. Let's go ahead and put a third one on. Again, we're going to work around the lettering, so I'm going to put this side on next. And just clipping all of these together one by one, working our way down. We have a little added weight down by the ferrule. And there we go, we have three sides on. The next one. Let's go one more here. Here's where it's going to start to get a little bit tight on the opening. And I could put one support like this in the middle, but you really don't need it. Once you have that on each end, it's really strong. Whoops. All right, and the final side. Now, I'm a hobbyist, as you might guess, and I watch a lot of different YouTubers, and one of my favorites is Jimmy DiResta. He's a woodworker, he's a metal worker, an artist. He does all kinds of cool, crafty stuff, the kind of stuff I like. And he built a canoe out of wood, and they had a term for the final plank in the canoe on the bottom, and they call it the whiskey plank. At least that's what he said. And after putting this in, I understand why. This is the whiskey plank of the pencil for sure, where after you're done putting it in, you may want a shot of whiskey. There, it's together. A little separation right there. Good. All right. And that is all the sides all rolled together. Let me see if I can get you a shot of the end here. There's the end where the tip is going to go. And then let's take a look down here. This is the cool shot. Kind of looks like a Star Wars detention block, doesn't it? I don't know how much light's getting in there. Sorry. But we have one solid pencil here. And now we can work on putting the ends on it. I'm going to put the tip on very last because it's the most fragile part. Let's go ahead and cap off this eraser here. So I find in doing this, it's best to put the panels on here first because these are a tiny bit fragile. And pushing on these is a lot easier when there's no cap. Now you're only going to be able to put half the panels on before you get the end in. So there I have 3 of them. We're going to work this right in here. There we go. And then we just have to carefully put these ones on hopefully without messing up what is beneath it. There's 4. Just go slow. 5. And 6. And then, of course, the final piece, the tip, which is very simply just going to slide right in. And we have a completed pencil. Sorry, I have to zoom out so far. This thing is absolutely massive. So I present to you the Brick Sculpt Giant Lego Pencil. Let's go ahead and take one final look at it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and do more just like this in the future. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. That's all I have for this time, and we will see you next time.